Hello, my name is Rahma from class 2E. Now I'm going to do a presentation about place and manner of articulation. Check it out.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. Honorable to our lecturer Mr. Ruli Agung Yudhiantara and to my beloved friends. Before I'm going to the presentation today, I'll pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given me merciful that I can do the presentation today. Secondly, salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Okay, my name is Wirda Rahma and now I'm going to do a presentation of English Phonology and Phonetic, and the material is about English consonant belong to bilabial, and the second is English consonant manner of articulation, and the last material is about English consonant place of articulation. And now I'm going to explain the first material. The first material is about English consonant belong to bilabial. Bilabials or bilabial consonants are a type of sound in a group of labial consonants that are made with both of lips, or we can say that bilabial sound involve the upper and the lower lips, and by partly stopping the air coming from the mouth when the sound is pronounced. And I will give the example from bilabial is p, b, m. P is for post, b is for butterfly, m is for man. When we say p, b, and m, the upper lips and the lower lips are stick. And the second material is English consonant manner of articulation. Manner of articulation is the way the flow of the air is either spread or released in the speech to produce language sounds. Therefore, the manner of articulation to describe how the different speech organs are involved in producing consonant sound. Basically, how the airflow is obstructed. And these are the different manner of articulation. The first is plosive or stop. Plosive or stop is when we speak or when we say some word or some sentence that nostril doesn't release the air. And the example is P is for pool and K is for kid. And the second example is affricates. Affricates is almost exactly the same as plosive, and the difference is being it give off a slight. And the example is ch as in cheese and j as is jungle. And third is nasal. Nasal is when we speak or say or when it comes through from our mouth and the air just comes from our nose. And the example is n as in sing. And the fourth is fricative. Fricative is created when the air force goes through the narrow gap between the two articulations at the steady speed. The example is z as in zeal and z as in zero. And the fifth is lateral. Lateral is when the tip of his tongue was pressed alveolar ridge. And the example is E for into. And the last example from manner of articulation is approximant. Approximant refers to the fact that the articulators involve the approach one another without actually touching. And the example from approximant is w as in we and rise as in rice. R as in rice. When we say we or when we say rise, one another is doesn't touching. Let's continue to the next material, or the last material is about English consonant place of articulation. Place of articulation of consonant is the contact point where there is interference in the vowel or in the passive location. The place of articulation example is the first. Here's bilabial. As I said just now, bilabial is when the upper lip and the lower lips are stick or contact. The example is b is for by and m for mine. The second example is labiodental. Labiodental contact between the lower lips and the upper teeth. The example is f as in feel. And the third is dental. Dental is contact between the tip of the tongue and the area just behind the upper tip. The example is th as in thick and then. And fourth is alveolar. Alveolar is contact between the tongue and the alveolar ridge. And the example is t as in to and d as in do. And the fifth example is palatal. Palatal is when the tongue and the hard palate or alveolar ridge are contact or stick. The example is as in shin. And the next example is post-alveolar. Post-alveolar is contact between the tongue and the back of the alveolar ridge. The example is as in fission. And the next example is velar. Velar contact between the tongue and the soft palate. The example is g as in go and k as in kite. And the last example from place of articulation is glottal. Glottal is restriction of the airflow at the glottis. And the example is as in high. I think that's all the presentation from me. I'm sorry if there's a mistake, and thank you for your attention. I say you wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.